Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today I'm going to talk about an issue in the sports medicine world that's pretty common, and it's for sprained fingers or jammed fingers. Depending on your sport and activity and how your hands are placed, they can sometimes really be accessible to getting injured. So we want to address that today and talk about like sports and football and in basketball with your opponents and running into them or jamming them, or on a tackle that you're getting them in a uniform or hitting the ground and getting someone else landing on them. So basketball, we see it a lot with the basketball players catching passes and it nailing their tip of their finger. And so how do we deal with that? How do we address that? And also, you can have them happen at the home front. Things happen, hit walls, hit chairs and everything. And so we want to really be able to address that effectively. So first and foremost, if there is even a question regarding a fracture, we want to get it x-rayed. So rule that out, then we can deal with it just as a sprain if there's no fracture there. And then what do we do? So initial treatment would be, we want to ice it down. You can use an ice cup, fill it with water and ice, and address it that way. I like to put it into a sink or a bowl where you have effectively covering all the tissues. You can use a general ice bag as well, though. So for about 15 to 20 minutes, and a lot of times with fingers and extremities, you don't have to go so long because of the effectiveness of the ice right to the skin and tissues. So that's your kind of your baseline. So that'll trim the swelling, it'll trim the pain. And sometimes you can also, when you're done with that, keep it elevated to keep the swelling from accumulating down lower. And then we want to splint it. If it's that critical, we can splint it with a tongue depressor, put it under there, wrap it up. But another means of doing that is with buddy taping. We want to find the finger that's in close proximity to it, and in the joints where they line up, we want to tape the shaft both above and below the knuckles to give it support and still have that flexibility and still have the function to it. So that's something that our athletes definitely want to keep as far as their function goes, to be able to play with that. Another component that we want to address is flexibility or strength. And so I always have my athletes, work on the flexibility, bending the fingers back and forth, bringing them in for, bending, but also doing some strengthening for contract, relax. So we contract them for 5 to 10 seconds, pushing on them, and then relax it, and then stretching it out, and do 2 to 3 sets with that. So hopefully that gives you a little insight as to how to care for your fingers with sprains and strains. And, I hope that provides success for you to be able to participate again. So thanks for tuning in, and look forward to catching up with you next time. Take care.